quinine kills.
Here I am.
Hi, I'm Carol Page. Welcome to my broadcast. We are going to kind of keep it open tonight, open to questions. Maybe there's some areas that you would like to ask some questions in, or maybe you've watched some of the other broadcasts and maybe it stimulated some questions that you might like to ask. So tonight's kind of wide open. And I think it'll be fun. I know I enjoy it. I hope you will too. Now, I'll explain a little bit about myself because I have to, so you'll understand, those of you that are new to the broadcast especially. I've been working with the police since the age of 12 and with police departments the majority of my life, actually. I've done 12 psychic investigators, and what was that?
Psychic detectives.
Yeah, psychic detectives. I'm okay. So there's like 12 altogether, and I think they're showing on YouTube. So if you're interested, you can catch them on there, and you can see how I work, which I use psychometry. And these were cases that we actually were able to get the killers and put them away. So, I work with people on all walks of life, all levels of businesses, that sort of thing. I still do readings. What?
You do readings over the phone?
I do readings over the phone. I'm not here in the center yet. I've been through a little rash of health problems. Nothing I didn't overcome, but nevertheless, it's kind of held me back from opening up to the center because I've gone through some radiation and my immune system's not where it really needs to be right now. I'm teaching because I want to teach. I'm teaching because the information needs to be out to the public. I'm not charging because I don't see the point of it. I want people to have the information. I want to share it with you. I'm not here to argue with you about the information that I'm teaching. I'm not here to compare theories. I don't do theories. I just want to share the information before I pass.
You don't do readings on the live?
Thank you. I don't do readings on the live. This is strictly for teaching.
Please don't ask personal questions.
And I couldn't do personal questions if I had to, because I have to have people's pictures in order to tap into them in order to do the readings. So I'm not grabbing information out of the air. Sorry. So no personal readings. Don't ask personal questions.
Unless they pertain to general knowledge.
Well, yeah, that can be. That can be. Now we've got our spiritual truth seekers, and they're up over, they're up over 1,000 now. And this is a group that you can join. It's on It's on the website. I think
it's on your Facebook page.
I think they can get on it through YouTube too, can't they? I'm not sure if they can or not.
It's a Facebook group.
It's Facebook group, okay. Mm-hmm. And it's a support system for people that want to grow and learn spiritually, and to learn about psychic phenomena, and to learn what it is to be psychic, and to share experiences, and to have support, a support system. Because a lot of us growing up, I know I didn't have any support, and I know most people that have had experiences, when they try to share them, people think they're nuts, which is really, really sad. Or it scares people. So this is a place where you can share, you can grow, and you can learn. And I encourage you to join. It is private, so there won't be other people watching you. And you can share with the others and talk to the others that are on site. I encourage it.
Yeah, it's a private group, but we do accept everybody.
Yes.
as long as you don't try to solicit or
Clients or
Right.
products,
Right.
etc.
or try to sell products or anything
Yeah.
like that.
In which case, bye-bye.
Pretty much.
Is there anything else?
Maybe how do we go about making an appointment with Carol for a reading?
Yeah, if you do want a reading.
Yeah, if you decide that you would like to get a reading, you can call my other Carol, who's my assistant, and I'll give you the phone number, which is area code 501-888-8056. And call between the hours of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Okay?
Central Standard Time.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Central Standard. Now, if you're ready for the questions. Oh, I want to do one thing. I have to give, and I have to ask for an apology. I do apologize. I made a mistake on my last broadcast. I made the mistake of saying that Buddha respected Christ as being a spiritual master or teacher. And it wasn't Buddha at all. I got it messed up. I don't know how I did that, but I did. And it turned out that it was actually Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
So I do ask your forgiveness for that. But this is the thing. I'm just human, okay? If you put me on a pedestal, I'm going to slide or fall, okay? My balance is no good. So I want to clear that up. Thank you. Do we have any questions yet? Really?
We have 2
Oh, okay. Thank you.
so far. Is the spirit and the soul the same thing?
Yes.
Oh, that was
And
easy.
there's been I've had a lot of people ask me that same, because people tend to separate spirit and soul. I don't understand. I ask my guides. For you that are new, my guides are the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirits, okay? They were appointed to us by Christ upon his leaving this earth. And he said, I leave with you the Holy Spirits who will be your comforters and your guides. So understand, they know everything. They're not human. They tend to look human, but they're not really human. They've never been here as a human. And they're awesome. They're really, really awesome. And a lot of people think, well, we have our ancestors, they're our guides. But these are things that people have theorized. All I can tell you is their accuracy is absolutely amazing. I asked them, because I'd been getting questions about spirit, soul. Are they 2 different things? Are they in fact one? My guide said, you are one. You are your spirit. You are your soul. You are your body. You are your soul within your body. You are one, but you are many. Levels. I went, okay. That's interesting. And then they took me on about an hour-long trip to show me what they were talking about, which I won't do to you tonight. But at some point, I think I probably will, as we progress. I'll get into those levels that they taught me about, which is really kind of fascinating.
That'd be great.
Okay, we'll do something on that. But your spirit and your soul are in fact one. You are your spirit, you are your soul.
Next. How do you know what your purpose in life is?
Well, there's multiple purposes. See, we think that we are here to save the world, stop pollution, to fix other people, to bring people into enlightenment. But what we don't understand is we're actually here about ourselves to fix ourselves. And in turn, hopefully we can help others to do the same. Now, some of us are born with talents that are kind of activate our knowing the path that we're going to take. And it might be that your path is to be a doctor, a lawyer, police, firefighter, psychologist, teacher, because you're born with that need, you're born with that talent to use those talents to help others. And you might be a musician, you might be a singer, you might be a minister, you might be a coach. It's according to your talents. You see, the thing is, before we come into this earth plane, if we incarnate from the light, that means heaven, 5th dimension, we have 10 dimensions, or from the outer darkness, 4th dimension, purgatory, outer darkness. If we come in from the light, we have designated our path for this life that we're being born into, and the lessons that we're here to learn, and how we're going to help others, and what we're going to be doing according to our talents. If we're born in from the outer darkness, we don't do any of that. We do not have the opportunity to map out what our life is going to be, what our lessons are going to be, and it makes it so much harder because we have more help when we come from the light, because we put those flags in place to keep us on our path, and we've asked our guides to help us when we begin to slide off our path, which we tend to do because we're human. You know, we got poor balance on those pedestals. So my guides, I asked them basically, I said, just give me a good basic answer on our purpose here. They said basically to forgive and release with love. So our purpose is the lesson of release. Yes. Releasing and forgiving with love. Releasing what? Our parents, our siblings, our neighbors, the kids that hounded us in school, wives, husbands, teachers, neighbors, people. Oh my God. There's a lot. Yes. That's what you're here for. To bring closure. To learn the lessons. To grow and evolve in order to forgive and release with love. So it's those 3 words. Triangle. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Yes. That's our true purpose.
Nice. Shona wanted to wish us all happy and blessed Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Are immortal vampires real?
Oh, good question. I don't know. For absolute truth, I encountered a vampire, and I've encountered people that believe they were vampires, but they were people that believed they were vampires, and some of them had some problems dealing with their blood cells, and had the need for blood because of that. What is that called? I can't think of it.
Like anemia.
Yeah, but it's pernicious anemia is what it is. There we go. And it drove them. They thought they were vampires because it drove them for the need for blood, because they actually craved it because of the anemia. The vampire that I met, I couldn't. And I met her, and it was during the daytime. It was at a conference. And she was gorgeous. She was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, she was really pretty. She had no pores. You couldn't see the pores in her skin. It was like unbelievable. And she had a figure to her, you know. I mean, she really had a figure to her. And she said, I couldn't get close to her. I could get maybe 10 feet. Was about as close as I could ever get to her. She said, I need your help. I said, okay. She said, I'm a vampire and I need help. And I've tried to get help from priests before and they died. Okay. Well, I can't say that I've ever dealt with a vampire before. And I thought, well, how do I do this? What do I do? Well, I knew about releasing pacts and being released from pacts. And I knew about curses and spells and that sort of thing and how to release those. So I told her, I said, I'll do my best to help you. I'll see what I don't know, but I'll do what I know with the tools that I have to see if it works. And I did. And I heard back from her boyfriend, who was the one that sent her kind of to me at that conference. I don't know how he knew I would do anything. I didn't know him either. But she did change after that. And I didn't die.
Obviously.
So that was all a good thing.
Yay!
So I don't really know for sure. I had gotten information that there were a form of vampiric beings, but they were not from here. I'll leave you with that. I don't really want, I have no desire to follow up on that little piece of knowledge.
Understandable.
Good question, though. I'd be asking.
And then these next two back to back. One is how can you hear your guides and how can they nudge you in the right direction? And then the next question is how do you connect with your spirit guides?
All right, go to carolpate.com. At carolpate.com, there is a prayer to connect you with your guides. It's a very simple prayer. My guides gave it to give to people that wanted to connect with their guides. And they said, the prayer is, please give me wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. I'm ready to take the responsibility. I'm ready to be guided. The kicker is taking the responsibility. Are you truly ready to take the responsibility? Because that means you're going to go on a spiritual journey. And if you stop, that's the end of it. And I've seen people stop. I had a dear friend, he actually made contact with his guides, and he came in one day to the center and he said, "There's no practical use for this." And that was the end of it. He got shut down. Gave me proof. Now, when your guides speak to you, and I've done broadcasts on this, but some of the broadcasts seem to be disappearing. I've got several, like maybe 100 that have disappeared. Yeah, it's really bad. 24 and 25, 20, 24, 20, 25. They don't seem to be there. The last one was 23.
Right.
Anyway, when your guides speak to you, they speak this way, but it's in your head, but you can feel it directionally. It's weird because you get kind of like this little buzz when it comes over like that. And you know when you get that answer that pops in your head that's perfect, it's beyond anything you would ever think of, but it's absolutely the right answer, that's your guide speaking to you. They're the ones that have dropped that piece of information in your head. Okay? Now, they are capable of speaking outside of your head, too. I've had that happen, which was really weird. But normally it's like inside. Now, the thing is, they are speaking to you now and have been, but you don't know the difference between your thinking and their voice in your head. So what you have to do is once you've done the prayer, then you open up the Bible and you say, you say before you open up the Bible, "Please, will you give me a message?" Open up the Bible, and wherever you open up the Bible, you read the entire chapter. Whatever your eyes lay on, you read the entire chapter. And then you ask your guides to give you guidance in what you're reading, and if they would please give you a word that you have to look up in the dictionary that applies to what you are reading, that is basically the root of what they're trying to tell you. And you better get you a big dictionary, okay? Because they'll do it. And then when you look it up in the dictionary and it is perfect, that's a word you never heard of, and it's perfect to exactly what the information was that you were trying to receive from them. It's almost encapsulated. It's wild. Then you start working with your guides, and I would recommend you spend, maybe a half an hour or so doing that, or asking spiritual questions. You ask spiritual questions and the answer will pop into your head. But again, ask them to give you a word you have to look up in the dictionary for a while, just until you can learn the difference between their voice in your head and your own thought process. Because you really don't think in your voice, in case you hadn't noticed. You think in concepts, pictures, ideas. You're not sitting here thinking words. "Oh, aren't I pretty? Oh my God. Oh, I'm so fat." That came from the dark side. And by the way, your guides will never compliment you either. I give you fair warning. They don't want to mess with your ego. Okay? But they are there, and they have always been there, only you just don't know it. And you have 3. And they can be male or female, or a combination thereof. Men tend to have more female guides. Females tend to have more male guides. It's whatever you're comfortable with, apparently. Your perception, whatever you need.
For balance.
Balance, that's exactly right. What do we got?
Okay. If you buy land that has been cursed by people who were killed there, will the lifting clear it, or do you need to lift the spells, curses, and conjurations as well?
You need to do curses, spells, conjurations, hexes, fixes, and damnations.
Sounds like a song.
And
Okay.
it's all on carolpate.com on how to remove and how to remove it from property, the four corners of the property, going clockwise, north to south. So it's there.
And that's your website, carolpate.com.
That's my website.
Okay.
It's got tons of information. You get in there, you're going to get lost. Lots and lots of information.
Absolutely. Will you explain reincarnation?
I think that's what my last broadcast was on, was reincarnation. God bless you. Oh, okay. It's a rebirth of the soul, lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, for the purpose of learning lessons, because you can't learn the lessons in the light. You have to be in the material plane where there are temptations and where the dark side resides, which is here, guys. And they serve their purpose too, in that they give you the opportunity to use your free will for free will choice, which God gave us. And that's what the lessons are about. And the lessons are basically in how you react to different circumstances and different people. That's in a nutshell. Watch the broadcast. The last broadcast.
Real quick, Jane, today's topic, it's open discussion.
Oh, okay. Open, yes.
Will the humans and extraterrestrials have an open communication in the near future?
They've always had open communication with governments.
What about with regular citizens?
It happens.
Okay.
Sorry. It's been going on for a long time. Like for centuries, like for thousands of years, like for probably millions of years. We call them aliens, they call us aliens. We're all in this thing together.
Here's a fun one. Okay, please talk more about the timelines.
Ooh.
What are they? How many are there? Does this mean we're all living other lives somewhere? I find it mind-blowing. Thank you.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I did a broadcast about it, but I don't know if it's still in existence or not, to be honest with you. All right, timelines. That's a good question. I started noticing timelines years and years and years ago. Actually, I didn't really notice them until, I guess, my 20s. Yeah, my 20s. My late 20s. And I noticed that in one timeline someone would die, in another timeline they weren't dead. Farrah Fawcett was one of those. One timeline she died of cancer early, and another timeline she didn't. She died of cancer later. And you would wake up and minor things would be shifted, not major, it'd be minor things. And you're going, wait a minute, I remembered this to be this way, and suddenly it's this way. You know, like the Ed McMahon, Publishers Clearinghouse, about he was the one that was pushing publishers. He represented publishers. Then all of a sudden, on this different timeline, he didn't. You don't know that one. Well, in one timeline he does, and one timeline he doesn't.
I
Yay!
remember him, but man.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's wild.
He's not. He doesn't have anything to do with Publishers Clearinghouse.
No,
Since when?
we left you, didn't we?
Wow.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's a Mandela. In one timeline, I think he died in prison, and the other he was freed. There's all.
I remember it, but man, Publishers Clearinghouse.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know that he wasn't.
Check on your. Oh, you can't check. That.
No, right now.
No, never mind. You check later. It's funny. And there's something about. Oh, there's all kinds of songs
The
and stuff.
Berenstain Bears. Supposedly it's Berenstain Bears, not Berenstein Bears.
Oh, okay.
And my sister is still trying to find the Berenstain Bears book in our house because she remembers having a conversation about it as a child. And now it's Berenstain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole. Well,
Yeah, it's the Mandela effect.
My guide started telling me about this translatory time. What's it called? Translatory time. I can't think of the last part of it. It'll come to me. And they kept repeating this to me over and over and over again. Convergence. Translatory time convergence. What's that? What are you talking about? And then one day they showed me. They showed me nexus. These were nexus points. Nexus points, nexus points, nexus point, nexus point, nexus point, nexus point. And all these lines connecting these nexus points. And I said, what is that? They said, those are timelines. How many are there?
Infinite.
Infinite. Really? Well, what's a nexus point about? They said, that's where you make your decisions. So when I make a decision, it sends me off into a timeline. Yes. Is that why my client, when he came to see me about buying the boat, I told him if he bought the boat, he would die. And if he didn't buy the boat, he'd be okay. And he bought the boat and he died? Yes. Holy. Hang on. Here we go. God. Then I found out you can change your timelines. You can change the outcome. You get a warning in a dream of an event that's going to happen. You see all the details of that event happening. If you change some of the events, that the things within the dream
details
that bring about the event, it changes the entire event. It shifts you to another timeline. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Really? Like this place isn't complex enough? Remember I said levels, soul, spirit. So that's what they're called. That's what my guides told me that they're called. Translatory time convergence. That's the name that the Holy Spirit gave me. I'm going to coin it. Coined.
Trademarked. So there would be as many timelines as there are decisions.
Yes. It gets wild. It
Choices.
It's never ending. When you go into spiritual knowledge, it's like my guides told me when I asked them, how much do I know? I must know tremendous amounts. How much do I know? They said, you're on an iceberg with a razor blade, scraping away. Really? Guess I'm not as smart as I thought I was. So, every day's a new challenge. Every day's a new day. That's the reason when you get ready to make a decision and your solar plexus go off, you're getting ready to go on a very dangerous timeline. Could be your death. Is that enough?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Hello. You look beautiful, and thank you everybody for your assistance. Thank you so very much. My question is it true the power lines there in the main streets affect our health? And is there any stone that can help us or anything that can help us with that?
I have found,
EMF.
no, our power lines around here, they're not affecting our health. But when you've got those really major, big, gigantic power
Ones that
lines
buzz.
that go through areas, people that live close to that do get affected, because I've had people come to me because they were being affected, some more than others, particularly people that were hypersensitive. Their nervous system just got, it was tough. So yes, that can happen. And I'm going to tell you something else too. You know these beds where they have the magnets? Don't do them. Don't do them. If you are very sensitive or you're hypersensitive and you get on that bed, it's going to mess you up. Just like MRIs. I took an MRI, did an MRI. It messed me up for 3 hours. I couldn't function. So be aware. There's a lot of things out there that can really, really affect you. Like plastics. Get into the study about plastics. That'll blow your mind.
Do you think Shungite would help with the electrical grids, the transformers, or?
That's what they're called, transformers.
I don't know if... The only thing I can tell you is move. I know these people that they and the reason I know about it is because I was at a conference, a UFO conference, and these people came over to me, and I didn't know them from Adam, and they said, we got a message, you could help us. Got a message from who? In our heads. Okay. What is it? She said, my husband, he's dying because we believe it's because of these big, massive,
Power lines.
electrical. And she said, I want to know if it's true. If it is, we got to move. I went over to him and I tapped into him, and he was absolutely wrecked. His energies were just scrambled all over the place. I said, you've got to move. You have got to move. She said, we're moving. I did some balancing work with him. So that's how I learned about that. So yes. But it's your normal poles. You don't have to worry about them. There's not enough there. Thank God.
Those big, heavy power lines that have the easements cut through the grass and all that.
Yeah, those are the really bad
The
ones.
ones
Those
that
huge,
buzz.
gigantic power lines.
Yep. Many thanks, Carol, from Suzanne, Spokane.
Oh,
As a violent crime survivor, am I expected to forgive and release with love the people who perpetrated the violence against me?
well, if you don't want it to happen in the future, I suggest you do. There's lessons in everything. Who's to say you didn't do that in a past life to somebody else? You don't know. Yes, unfortunately or fortunately, however you care to look at it, because I'm telling you this, my guides told me, with every thought, with every traumatic remembrance, with every resentment, every time you think about it, you're drinking a cup of poison, and it's not going to harm them any way, shape, or form, but it will destroy you from the inside out. Your choice. I've had violent situations, very violent. And I don't want them in my future, and I forgave them and I released them. Not to forgive them, but to release them from me. That sounds a little selfish, but it's true. It serves both purposes. And in truth, it doesn't, how can I put it? It stops your energy from continuing to empower them. A lot of people are what I call psychic vampires. And these people will inflict pain and misery on you so that you will obsess about them, wanting to get even with them, so they will actually pull your energy and feed off of it. So yes.
Is it true that vampires really exist? She answered that one earlier. Buddy says she's right about that spiritual journey stopping. I see it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Frankie asks, can you not say the prayer again for your guides? I'm learning the difference and telling them thank you some days. They do not respond as well. Oh, and some days they do not respond as well.
Hey, sometimes I don't get a peep out of them.
One always does. Does that mean the other two agree?
No. I don't, I wouldn't even think to question what they would think about one way or the other. They're the Holy Spirits, okay? I don't think they think anything like we do. And if you'll notice in some of the broadcasts, they'll be behind me and on their side of me. You'll see kind of like a light, like a silhouette of dark over with the light. It's weird. So
I think you've already answered this one. She says, are our guides audible? Like, do you hear them as a voice? Or what's it like to hear our guides? I think you already answered that one.
it's telepathy on the most part. But I had one experience that I didn't have. My car died on me. I had to get a new car. I was raising my child. I had to be able to go to work. I had gone through a divorce. I was raising a 3-year-old child. And my guides told me exactly what to do, and I heard it audibly. They said, you are to go to Worthen Bank. You are to go to the desk that's in the middle of the bank. That will be the vice president of the bank, and you're going to ask him for a loan to buy a new car, and he will give you the loan. I said, I don't have anything to back it up with. They said, you will do this. He will give it to you. Okay. So I go to Worthen Bank. There's a desk. There he is. I sit down. I say, my car has died. I'm a working mother, and I need to buy a new car. Can I get a loan for the car? He said, well, of course you can. Thank you. He said, you go to whatever dealership you care to go to. He said, I'd recommend Twin. And he said, you get the information on the car, and I will go ahead and I'll give you a check for you to get the car, and you can pay us off for the car. Really? Really? Yes, thank you. Bye.
That's awesome.
I went to Twin. I don't even think they're there anymore. And I said, I need to buy a good used car. And they said, okay, what do you want? I said, I don't know. And I really didn't know. I never bought a car for me. You know, like in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I have a really nice car over here. He said, it's a Charger. It's a Dodge Charger. It's a good car. It's well made. It's a shift. A shift? How do you do a shift?
Mm-hmm.
I'll teach you real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sure. He said, I told him that I was going to get a loan from the bank, and can I get the paperwork, and I would take it to the bank and then bring. So he filled out the paperwork on the car. I got it really reasonable. I took it to the bank. He cut me a check. I took it back. I gave him the check. He sent me off in my new car that I didn't know how to drive. I learned fast.
Mm-hmm.
After half killing it.
Did you go through a couple of transmissions?
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I really learned. I really did. And I said, thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I should have had enough sense to get an automatic. That car was wonderful. I learned how to use that car, and that car lasted me forever.
You drive pretty fast too, huh?
I did. One day. One day. So, yes, you can actually hear them speak to you. It's wild. Because I wouldn't have done this any other way. I don't think. It was just too big of a deal.
How do you know God's voice compared to Guide's voice?
Oh, honey, I don't hear God's voice. I don't know that I could hear God's voice. My guides tell me there are certain names of God that to hear them would just blow you completely. I don't know. I don't know what it would do. Okay. These people that say they hear God's voice, I think they're hearing the guides, or they're hearing spirits. I will tell you, I've never heard God's voice. I've never had God announce to me that I am that I am.
There are 3 different people on here that have said that they had a hard time getting on to the broadcast tonight. Margot said she called them the Integral Band of Mercy, but it still took a while. So
I'm having trouble with broadcasts.
they were just discussing how they're being messed with this evening.
I'm sorry. The dark side does not like me doing these broadcasts. And the Integral Band of Mercy is your best way to clear the way, and the Archangel Michael. Okay?
This may have been asked, but how old were you when you became aware you were sensitive?
I was 4. That was the deal with my father and my uncle, and meeting the lady who lived in the Redwood house on top of the hill that we lived on, and going to her house and asking her for water, and she told me to get it from the faucet on the side of the house, and I got a drink, and I went back and thanked her and told my father and my uncle what a nice lady she was, and they got all upset and mad and ashened and told me I was a liar, and the woman had died 10 years previously in that house when it burned down. And I knew there was something a little wrong with me, a little different. And from there on, I was seeing all sorts of things. And of course, my father thought I was the biggest liar in the world. Of course, later, when I hit 18, he told me, he said that his family was Cherokee primarily, and that they had been really abused because of their gifts with mediumship and clairvoyance and so forth. And he told me, he said he really tried to beat it out of me for my sake.
Thanks.
For my sake.
Right.
Maybe tougher.
I'm sure it did.
I was short. I had to be.
You're not very tall.
I think tall.
You have big energy.
Yes, I have big energy.
You have tall energy.
I have tall energy. Yes, I do.
Can the dark side use family members to attack you?
Oh my God, yes. They have a field day with families. Husbands, wives. Oh my God, kids. Oh yes, absolutely. They love splitting up families. They absolutely adore doing that. It gives them power and strength. See, they only have 3 powers in truth: confusion, illusion, and fear. That's the dark side's 3 powers. So they take your husband and they stir up his head and go like that with it, and he thinks you're crazy because you're seeing weird things. Or it's reversed. And the kids, they'll stir with one kid and all the rest of the family's fine, and this one kid's really seeing things like, dark hooded, cloaked people with red eyes, which is demonic, by the way. Okay? Black mist, which is demonic, by the way. Weird things, moving and all kinds of stuff, but nobody else sees it. Splits up the family. Well, mom's crazy, or dad's crazy, or John over there is crazy, or Elizabeth, she's crazy. Yeah, they will use your family big time. That's why you need to grow spiritually together. But it doesn't always work that way. It just doesn't. They used my husband against me every opportunity they got.
No further details?
No.
Just gonna leave it at that? Okay.
Well, I will tell you, he got violent on me one time. He never really did. He wasn't a violent man. But he got violent and he kicked in the bathroom door. And I asked the Band of Mercy to remove whatever's attached to him now in the name of Jesus Christ. And he dropped to the floor and collapsed.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Wow. That's scary.
Yeah. I'm short.
But you have tall energy.
He was 6 foot. I have tall energy. I have this kind of energy. Better yet, that kind
there
of
you
energy.
go. Jane asks, can you please do another broadcast on timelines?
Wait a minute. I gotta have more information on timelines. I'm giving you what I can. Get on Mandela Effect. You will see people that don't have information on timelines so that you can kind of get information on what they're seeing. And then you can apply it to the information I gave you.
Jane says Ed was on American Publishers or some other organization.
Okay. Not on my timeline.
Maybe in your timeline. Okay. Is our past and future in another dimension / timeline?
Which one? Which one? I don't know. I am not God. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nor would I want to be. But there's so much to all of this. And each one of us are totally unique. Totally unique. And it doesn't stop. And then you get into the consciousness of plants and the consciousness of animals and the consciousness of the earth and the consciousness of planets and of universes and you enjoy.
Okay. When they say the second coming, of what does that mean?
The second coming of Christ?
What does that mean?
Well, according to Revelations, there is the second coming of Christ, which means Christ comes back and brings peace for 1,000 years. Now, it doesn't say what happens after that peace for 1,000 years. And does that mean we all go into total chaos? And why would we want to do it here when we can do it in heaven and just stay there for 1,000 years? I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's some things that don't make a lot of logical sense. You read it. Ask your guides. Get to where you can talk to your guides on a regular basis, and then you ask them that question. That's a perfect question for them to answer. I haven't asked them that question.
It's a good one.
There's a lot of questions I haven't asked. I don't know if I'm ready for the answer.
Right.
And don't be asking the question if you're not ready for the answer.
Okay.
Like timelines.
Okay. This year has progressed very fast, faster than usual.
Yes.
What do you think is the cause of that?
Well, everything's been kind of speeded up. That's all I can tell you. What is time? That's something you need to really think about. Really and truly, what is time? Is it a gauge? Is it event to event? What is it? Is it energy? What is it? Everybody perceives it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Ask your guides. Good questions.
Does the dark side ever become flesh or human?
It can be perceived as flesh or human, just like the angelics can be perceived as flesh or human. You see, angelics can visit us as messengers, as humans. They look like humans. Well, the dark side can do the same thing. They're fallen angels with capacities and abilities.
That's scary. Do you think that the United States of America is Babylon from the Bible?
No.
A guy predicted this in the 80s. I'm not a believer in this, but I
No.
didn't read his book.
No, they're actually Saddam Hussein was rebuilding the Tower of Babel, which was actually in that country that Nebuchadnezzar ruled in, because he believed that he was the reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar and wanted to rebuild the Tower of Babel. So that's where it is, not here. Although you wonder sometimes. I'm kidding,
Okay. Did the sun flares last week knock us off balance?
Yes, they did. They messed me up. Yes, that was weird. I had some weird happenings Sunday.
Well, Mercury's also in retrograde right now.
Oh, Mercury's always in retrograde. Every time I turn around, it's in retrograde.
We passed 3 accidents on the way here. 3.
Well, it wasn't you.
No.
Thank God.
Uh-huh. Okay. I watch a lot of videos online of paranormal events caught on camera. Many videos show people walking and disappearing in plain sight. One was a lady in an airport pulling her luggage with wheels when she disappears and all that's left is the luggage. People around get terrified. Do you think people can just vanish without a trace into a portal or another dimension?
It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. I know of some events. I personally have never heard of anyone disappearing in front of people. And that was that. So I don't know. Sometimes stuff that you see on the internet isn't always what it claims to be. Okay, just be a little aware there. I know that Saint Germain, way back when, who was really not a saint at all, to be honest, he liked to travel and go to the courts of kings and queens. And he loved to gamble. And he always had gold with him. And I remember that he had gone to Russia and he had walked out into the snow and he was gone. And they had the prince in the snow, but he was gone. They never knew what really happened to him, which is kind of weird. Mm-hmm. And there have been planes like Bermuda Triangle that have just disappeared. Do they go into another dimension? Yes, I do believe they go into another dimension. I really do. I've had stuff going to other dimensions. Poof out and then poof back in someplace else. Haven't some of you had that happen to you? You put a necklace down. I put my wallet on my table next to my chair. I went to reach for my wallet. It was gone. It was gone for a month and a half. I had to get new cards, the whole 9 yards. I found my wallet under my bed. Just on the edge.
Wow.
No one in my house. Things can poof in and poof out, okay? I think people can poof in and poof out.
That's scary.
But I will say this. It tends to be where there is natural vortices. Bermuda Triangle is a gigantic vortex. And they're all like this around the earth. Like 130 degrees from each other. The major ones. So, yeah, I think so. And I think that has to do, again, with timelines. There's a correlation. But then you got to get what is time. I love it. It takes your head and goes, woohoo! It's like a dryer, you know?
Yeah. It's fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why I'm doing the broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Make people think. Let them know.
They definitely do that.
There's more to this place than what appears. My guides tell me it's stage setting. It's stage setting for your lessons. Well, how much control do you have on that? With that? About that? I don't know. Because when you learn your lesson, everything stops. And it's over and done with. It ends. The drama ends. And you get peace and quiet and everything's wonderful for about 2 months and here comes another lesson. And unfortunately they come mostly through people. Sometimes through animals, but mostly through people. Which means you have to mix and mingle with people.
Do you have to?
I can develop agoraphobia and stay home. You won't learn anything to speak of. Because I tell you, the TV's not going to teach you.
That kind of segues into the next question.
Oh.
I've heard that those who are in power have to put their plans into the public realm, for example, through movies sometimes, in order to avoid negative karma. Is there truth to this, in your opinion?
Never thought about it. Actually, it makes some sense to some degree. You know, we have been mind bent for years. So I'd say, yeah, there's some credence to that. I don't think it eliminates the karma in any way, shape, or form. Let me recant that. That's not, no. But I think that movies and TV and now the internet can shape your mind and your thought and your trends.
There are a couple of people that commented on what about a grounding mat on your bed or grounding bed sheets.
How would they be grounding?
I'm not sure. Do you know anything about grounding beds?
They're advertising the heck out of that right now. That's the latest trend. Instead of going barefoot to ground your chakras and electrical system for health, now they have these grounding sheets.
I'd have serious, and I'd have to know what they were made of. What did they do? Put red earth in there?
I think there's supposed to be like some silver threads running through them, and however many silver threads, and
I don't think so. I wouldn't trust it. That's man's concept. I'm sorry. Man puts his stamp on anything he can make money off of. I'm sorry. That is true. No, I don't believe it. It's about like those magnet beds. They were supposed to ground you and make you more psychic and strengthen you and heal you and I laid out on that thing. I thought I was gonna die. Good God, it took me and no, I don't trust it.
It's 7 minutes after 9.
Oh my.
But
we're having fun.
If you'd like a couple more questions, we got them. That's 70 something of them.
Okay. Is
right.
Everybody up to it?
I was told when you think you're hearing voices, it's an alternate universe, and you're hearing what's happening at the same time.
No.
Okay. No.
No, there's one or two things going on. Either you have spirits around you that are talking, or you have a mental problem. And that can happen too, and it's okay. There are things there are reasons for that. Your guides, you're not going to necessarily hear them outside of you. You're going to hear more in your head. Spirits, the only time that I heard a lot of spirits was in the homecoming of somebody who had passed, and they were doing this homecoming, and I got to participate by hearing it because it scared me a little bit, and I called friends and people that were knowledgeable.
That's cool, though.
And it didn't scare me anymore.
That's neat. Okay, she says, my sister, when she goes around technology, it breaks often. Like computers breaking down, computer glitches, stops working.
Yeah, I do.
Carol's the same way.
Yeah. I went to KLAZ. It was there's a radio station. They had everything taped and shelved and everything. And I was doing some work, some psychic work. And I walked into that room and I erased every tape they had. I was never allowed to go back over there. I kill watches. I don't hurt crystal. What? I can do quartz crystal. But any other kind, they're dead. They're gone. I drain batteries. I blow up light bulbs. I can kill computers. Thank God now they're not all in metal. They're more plastic. And that shields them so I don't kill them like I did. You see, psychic abilities, my guides told me, are electromagnetic energy. And that's why they magnetize the watches, they drain the batteries, etc. It's electromagnetic energy. I'm pulling it to do psychic work.
Makes sense.
ATMs. Years ago, you had to have your picture on a card, and you had to use your card for the ATM. I broke 5 ATMs. 5. They took pictures off of all of the cards, okay? because they could trace me going from one to the other to the other, because I was trying to get my money, okay? And that was the end of the pictures on the card. It was pretty much the end of the card too. So
That's crazy.
yeah. I used to kill CAT scans. They've changed them up now. I can't kill them. Come kitty kitty. No.
I thought when you first said that sentence, I thought, you used to kill cats? Okay. You mentioned that when you're born from the outer darkness, that there aren't as many supports in place.
Oh, yeah.
If you do the prayer to be reinstated into the light or redeemed, not remembering the exact terminology, do you get the support back?
Yes. It does help. Yes. Then you can start being at least put in position in this lifetime that you're in to finish some of the lessons that you wanted to have completed with the people that you need to make contact with. So yes, that's a very good question.
Jane, I'm not sure which that you're asking if there's a prayer on the website for. Because I know these are way
tons.
Back.
Okay.
But yes, there is a prayer for that on the website, more than likely.
Probably.
Whatever that was.
Okay, you didn't catch it.
No, these are from back when we were talking about the sheets and
Gotcha.
the bed magnet. Yeah, it's been a minute. Okay, so black orbs next to a person in a Polaroid picture. What does it mean?
Usually,
the person had a parent commit suicide.
Usually the black represents the demonic,
Eee.
negative energy.
Do you think that the parent having committed suicide would have anything to do with it?
I think whatever affected the parent to commit suicide is probably after the child, after the person. Yeah. Black orbs, red orbs, demonic. Black mist, demonic. Be aware. It doesn't mean you can't wear red and black. We're not doing that, okay?
Right.
These are lights. These are actual lights.
Is accepting Jesus Christ as your Savior a key step in one's ascension or path forward?
Yes. Yes, of course it helps. Jesus Christ is our Redeemer. He's the one that through his sacrifice allows us, no matter who we are, what our belief system is, if we step into that white light, which is Christed light, we are taken to heaven and we are redeemed back to God. So yeah, I think it's a pretty darn good step in the right direction. He's my Lord and Master.
Cheryl says she sees your guides tonight.
Ah, thank you.
Will you explain psychometry?
Psychometry is the ability to translate energy, such as a photograph, sample of writing, or holding jewelry that belongs to the person, or say a wallet, something of their clothing, and translating that energy back into knowledge about that person. It's kind of like everybody has a signature energy, unique only unto them. And when they wear jewelry, that energy gets transferred into rings and bracelets and necklaces. It stays in the clothes until they're washed. It implants in chairs, the walls of your house. And it's an energy. And by using psychometry, it allows me to touch into that signature energy and get the information, like tuning a radio station. Getting that energy and tuning it in and knowing what makes that person tick, who they are, what their personalities are, what their motive and their agenda is. So yes, that's psychometry. Touch. Because when I don't touch, I can turn it off. It's a protection mechanism. It's a technique.
Okay, Carolyn says, my mom is dying. She's in her last few days. What prayers can I use for her?
Oh, yes. Please, please, please ask the Band of Mercy to bring comforters for her, spirit healers for her, to ease all pain and to make her more comfortable and to bring her loved ones forth for her. And that when she is ready, to help her either into the light with her loved ones guiding her or into protected sanctuary in the name of Jesus Christ. It will ease it considerably. It'll ease her. It'll make the transition wonderful, and she won't get lost on the way. Because sometimes if they're like have cancer or they have drugs, they don't know where they are and they can get lost because they can't make that decision to go into the light. Because you're out of your body, you're still in that state of being. You know, let's say you've had alcohol, you still have that. You know, your drugs, you still have that.
Does that wear off?
Doesn't seem to. Some yes, some no. Some I've reached to that have been asleep for like 30 years through drugs, like catatonic, you know, and have been in like a dream. Sleep. I don't know if it's positive or negative.
I was just thinking about, people that are in the hospital.
Yeah.
That are, get drugs to.
Yeah, I know.
For when they pass, does that ever wear off, or is it just?
It doesn't appear to.
Huh.
But I think maybe with some, maybe. Mm-hmm. Each person is so individual and unique. You can't rubber stamp them with, this is the way it is. It's unique unto the person.
Makes sense.
I guess we're going to go all night, aren't we?
Yeah, we need to wrap it up. It's 20 after. We got to stop.
I've enjoyed it. I really have.
It has been wonderful.
All right, we'll do one more question and we'll finalize.
Okay. How did Dolores Cannon talk to Nostradamus? Did she travel to the other side in spirit?
No. Dolores, I've known Dolores now for about, she's of course passed, but I knew her for about 35 years. We were good friends. She came to me and she said, I am having the strangest thing happen. This is before she wrote her books. She said, I'm having the strangest thing happen. She said, I'm doing hypnosis with people, taking them back to past lives. I said, that's great. Really? She said, yeah. And she said, but some of them, this man takes them over and he talks to me through them. Well, who is he? He says he's Nostradamus. Really? I believe you. I believed her. She was just Dolores, She's not going to lie about anything. She's Dolores. I said, how often is this happening? She said, well, it's happened about 4 or 5 times. These different people? Yeah, they're different people. Are they connected in any way, shape, or form? No, there's no connection. Even in different locations, different areas of Arkansas. Really? Yeah. And what does he say? He says he has information that he wants me to write down, that he needs clarification, that he needs to get out to people. Are you writing it down? Well, he hasn't given me the information yet. I don't know what to do with it. I said, Dolores, I think this is for real. I really do. And I think it's Nostradamus. And I think you need to do something about this and take these people, take them down, do their past life. And when he comes through, tape record this. Or write it down, or do both. That's how she got all her information for the books.
Wow.
awesome. It was really awesome. She needed somebody, and she always believed in me. She would tell him, she's a real psychic. God bless her. She's for real. So when I would tell her something, it would, it gave her, I mean, she had a hard time believing it was for, I would too. She said, well, what does Nostradamus want with me? And she said, he's not very nice. I said, well, men in that day and time.
He's from a different time.
Yeah, they didn't really think much of women. I'm surprised he chose you. He said he didn't have a choice. She had a purpose, okay? And he was her major purpose.
Wow.
And the information in those books are accurate.
I have to read them. It's really cool.
Okay, we'll wrap it up. I love you guys. Thank you for staying with me and for participating. I appreciate all of you.
Oh, and the questions that we didn't get to will be answered
As soon as possible.
as soon as possible.
Last time we did the broadcast, we were going to answer the questions, and then Kat got sick, and there's just been, and I had funeral to go to. There's been all kinds of wild stuff going on. I will get to it, and Kat's still sick, so I'll get to the questions as soon as possible. But I will answer them, and I will put them up. Okay, so bear with me. It's kind of getting crazy out there. Mm-hmm. I love you all. I've enjoyed tonight. I've enjoyed your company. Come watch our next broadcast and bring your questions. God bless each and every one of you. Good night.